All right, good Friday afternoon, everyone. Thanks for stopping by for a check of your forecast. Hope everyone's doing well today. We are going to break down your forecast for tonight. Looks like we'll have a handful of some scattered severe storms. We'll have the chance mostly for a large hail threat. That's going to be your primary hazard with any of these storms that do go severe tonight. You can see we have a severe thunderstorm watch that covers four of our counties. That includes Briscoe, Hall, Childress, and Cottle County. Outside of there, we still could see some severe weather. Really been watching this one up here close to Muleshoe. That one's blown up pretty quick here in the last half hour. We'll take a look at that from our Skycam in Clovis shortly. But other than that, we could have some cold air funnels today. Some landspouts certainly seem possible. I wouldn't be shocked if we have a weak tornado today with any of these storms that maybe attach themselves to a boundary and just start to ride against some of those areas where we've got a lot of converging winds. So, a lot to break down today. It is October 24th, year of our Lord 2025. It is 3:11 here in Amarillo. We've got an outflow boundary that is starting to work its way in a southerly direction. This is from some early morning convection that we had up in the northern panhandles this morning. That again may be something to focus on for some additional storm development as we progress through the rest of the evening. It has not come through Amarillo yet, so I think we may still be in the window of opportunity for some storms even here around town over the next couple of hours. We're really eyeing kind of this general area down here, the southeast half of the Texas Panhandle. That's where the ingredients are most primed and probably the most available moisture to work with for storms to really get going and to pack quite a bit of a punch to for today. That being said, still could see some storms up here in northeast New Mexico coming off the higher terrain. We do have kind of a dry slot starting to set in over here in due eastern at New Mexico, but otherwise still looks like the southeast half of the area is in for a relatively active evening tonight. So let's go ahead and take a look outside at our Skycam in Clovis, New Mexico. You can see there's that big thunderhead going up over the last half hour or so. You can see it's already got a nice little rain shield there in the forward flank downdraft. Here is your cloud base. You can see maybe a little bit of a lowering right here. This is a pretty young thunderstorm. We've got good wind shear today. I would not be surprised if we get a couple of supercells for this afternoon. And the lower level storm relative helicity, basically the parameter we use to track rotation in the lower levels, is going to be pretty high today. So I would not be shocked if you start seeing some funnel clouds out of some of these storms for today. Again, those cold air funnels don't normally make contact with the ground. If they do, they generally are kind of weak. That's probably about the extent of what we can expect if we get a tornado today. Would be a relatively weak one, but tornado nonetheless still possible. So definitely something to pay attention to. Let's go ahead and take a look at your radar one more time. Again, we've got this storm over here back over towards Muleshoe. That one's going to be moving in an east-northeast direction. You can see again, it's got a nice forward flank downdraft starting to form. This one's only been around for a little more than a half hour. We've got a nice little group of storms going up around Hall, Childress, and Cottle County as well. I think through the next several hours, we may see some additional development up here closer to Highway 60. But again, that southeast quadrant of the Panhandle is where we're really eyeing that chance for some severe weather for today. The further northwest you go, the less likely severe storms will be. So let's take a look at the regional view. You can see here's the upper level low continuing to turn there just over northwest New Mexico. That's going to be moving in a southeast direction. We'll continue to probably see some showers and storms develop out here in the Texas Panhandle. A lot of this stuff's going to be tracking through much of Texas through the next 24 hours. The Aggie LSU game could certainly be impacted by some of these storms tomorrow, which I know is everyone's biggest concern, mine included. But here's your outlook for today. Marginal and slight risk. It's just like yesterday on that level 1, level 2 out of 5 spectrum. So we're not expecting every storm to be severe, but we certainly can't rule it out. Hail's going to be the biggest issue from now until midnight. And probably more like now until 9 p.m. I think after 9 o'clock, all of these storms are probably east-southeast of the viewing area, and they continue to move away from the Texas Panhandle. But we'll hang on and, again, just kind of give you that window up until midnight tonight. But I still think by 9, we probably are done with the severe storms. Wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour will be possible. I do think there's a low chance for tornadoes today. It's actually a 2% probability in the southeast panhandle. So basically what that means is there's about a 2% chance that a tornado occurs within 25 miles of any set location. That's the lowest outlook you can have without it being zero from the Storm Prediction Center. So it's not a high concern, But I do think it's something that we should certainly mention and talk about because I do think we will see some of those cold air funnels today from some of these storms. And if we do get a supercell to maybe ride or latch onto a boundary, it could do some funky things. Here's your blitz planner for tonight. DJ was telling me that they actually had a lot of football games in the Eastern Panhandle last night to avoid the storms that we'll have this evening. So that was probably a wise decision for them because it is certainly going to be a busy night. Let's take a look at your temperatures. 69 here in Amarillo, 71 in Tucumcari, 68 in Childress. Winds fairly calm at 0 to about 10 miles an hour for most of us. There's some pockets in here where the winds are a little stronger, but not much wind flow right now. There is some much better moisture. This is something that we talked about yesterday that we thought was going to limit our storm potential, and it did. We had a couple of showers and storms, but it was a relatively quiet day for us yesterday here in the viewing area. But notice the dew points. I mean, they're back up into the high 50s, low 60s now in that southeast quadrant of the Panhandle. That's certainly enough moisture to get some stronger storms going for today. I mean, Childress, you got a dew point of 65. That's why you have some stronger storms ongoing right now. You could see the model picking up on maybe that Muleshoe storm by 3 o'clock. Again, it's actually further west and southwest. And so, again, what you see here on the model, maybe kind of displace it a little bit further to the west, and that's probably what we can expect. We really still think that the storms are going to be best in coverage out here in the southeast, just off the Cap Rock. You can see by 10 p.m., all of these storms have really moved out of the area. We've got a couple of showers, maybe some isolated storms up there in Union County later this evening. And as this low starts to progress further east, you're going to get this deformation band. It's the technical term, but it's just a wraparound precipitation within the low pressure center. You can see that's probably going to provide some rain for portions of southwest Kansas. Parts of the Oklahoma Panhandle probably will benefit from that, especially Beaver County, Texas County. I think it's possible, less likely to see impacts with that as you get over into Cimarron County. But by 5 p.m., I mean, this thing's pretty well stalled out. You can see it spinning there just to the southeast of Dodge City. You've got Wichita, Kansas out there to your northeast. Again, this low is going to be stuck out here for 12 to 24 hours. So some wraparound showers still I think will be possible on Saturday. I think we'll have a better opportunity for storms in the first half of the day. As we get into the evening, the low is going to start to track more in an east direction. So the further away it gets, the less the dynamics are favorable for updrafts and storm maintenance. So that will eventually allow us to clear things out and have a cooler day on Sunday morning. Probably some fog early on, temperatures in the 40s. Not a bad afternoon though. Sunday we'll probably get back up into the 60s, maybe some lower to mid 70s, just depending on how much sunshine you get. Again, the cloud cover should be really well cleared out by then. And then moving into Monday, we do have our next cold front, which is going to start to track into the region. So here's that next system. Big trough, big upper level low. You can see kind of a Fujiwara effect here. They dance around each other. This is will probably be a major Hurricane Melissa as it comes across the Caribbean. Jamaica definitely needs to keep an eye out on that one. This one's certainly going to be a pretty strong storm, it looks like, over the next 24 to 48 hours. But this will be our story here for the Panhandle. It's going to be that colder air coming in the middle of next week. I think it's a very real possibility that we see our first freeze here in Amarillo. Some of us already have over the last week or so. Most of those numbers have been up in the northern panhandles like Stratford, Beaver, Oklahoma. Some of those places have gotten to or below freezing. Hasn't seen a hard freeze yet. This probably won't be a hard freeze for us unless you believe the Canadian model. It has us down into the mid 20s for a morning or two, but the others have us a little bit warmer than that. So we're splitting the difference. You got you at 32 on Wednesday morning. That will be our first freeze more than likely here in Amarillo. The official first freeze. Some of us, again, around town got close the last couple of times. We had a pretty good cold front come push through, but this one looks like it may be a more widespread chance for you to fall to or even below freezing. That's really all we've got going on right now. Again, the big story for today is going to be the storm chances as we get further into this evening. You can see we've got some new development there in Briscoe County. So things are probably about to start popping off. These storms will continue to need to be monitored. I do think we're going to let you get back to the rest of your afternoon. We'll probably jump on here in 40 minutes or so and just kind of start a live that will continue through the afternoon. Just when these storms really start to become more widespread. But severe weather possible really from about now until realistically 8, 9 o'clock tonight. Could be as late as 10 to midnight, just depending on how long it takes these storms to move out of the area. But severe weather potential highest in Briscoe, Hall, Childress, and Cottle County. and then we'll have some chances for some more storms as far northwest, I think, as about Highway 60. Amarillo, it depends on where this outflow gets before storms get going on it. If we have to wait until this thing gets down towards Canyon or towards Happy, then we're probably going to be on the wrong side of the boundary to see storms get going. That's something that models have been very hit and miss on, is if we actually see storms in Amarillo. They're going to be close by, but they might be to our southeast. And if they get going down there, they we won't see storms here because they'll move away from Amarillo. That's all we have. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Again, we'll probably jump back on here in about an hour, a little less than, to start covering some of the stronger storms as they continue to develop. But enjoy the rest of your afternoon and make sure to tune in tonight at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock.